The real estate market in Cape Coral is shifting and fast. Inventory is skyrocketing, but what does that really mean for buyers and sellers? Should you be concerned? Or is this the golden opportunity buyers have been waiting for? More homes hitting the market could mean big changes ahead, but the real question is, will buyers step in or will they sit on the sidelines and wait? In this report, we're breaking down what's fueling this surge in inventory here in Cape Coral and how the next few months could reshape the future of Cape Coral real estate. Stay tuned because what happens next could impact you more than you think. Welcome in, I'm Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and I'm here to help you cut through the noise and stay ahead in this evolving market. Let's dive into the key trends and opportunities shaping Cape Coral's real estate market in 2025. Now, if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or investing, let's connect. Schedule a video consultation with me by clicking that link in the description. You're welcome to call or text. So let's create a tailored plan to help you achieve your real estate goals in 2025. Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the Cape Coral Market Update for February 2025. Now, the headline this month is inventory. Inventory is going through the roof. Now, is this something to be concerned about or not? This time of year, we always see inventory jump up quite a bit because this is in preparation for snowbirds coming in. January is typically our inventory month where we see the most growth. However, this month we've seen exceptional growth. So we're going to unpack that and find out exactly what that means. And if those buyers show up throughout the next few months, I think we're going to be in great shape. But if the buyers sit on the sidelines, then Cape Coral might be heading for a bit of a challenge once we get into the late summer months. So we're going to follow that along and let you know what we're going to look at there. Now, right now, we're going to compare back 90 days to the month of October 2024, and then we'll go back an entire year to January 2024 and see how the numbers have changed and then where they're heading to here in the future. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First thing we're going to look at is market indicators. First up is inventory. This tells us how many homes are currently available on the market. This is the indication for supply. Median price point. This is the median price point for what homes are selling for. 50% of the homes sold above this amount, 50% of the homes sold below this amount. Days on the market. How many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? We're gonna look at the median number here, and this shows us the home that's ready to be sold. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe it's not overpriced, maybe it's right, but these are the median days that it's taking to sell that house. Closed sales, this is the amount of homes that we're selling on the market. We're gonna look at January's numbers, which were actually quite low. Actually, they were lower than last year, which last January were low numbers. However, we did see it start to rebound as we got into the spring months. So we're going to venture into that as well. First up is active inventory. So this is where it's been talked about. You're seeing in the headlines right now, Cape Coral's inventory is through the roof. We're at 3,499 single family homes currently available on the MLS. That's homes available for you to purchase at this exact moment. Now, when we had talked about this a few months ago, last year, if you look at the chart down here, last year we never hit 3,000 as we got into season. We did see growth quite a bit going into January. We had over 1,000 new homes hit the market in January last year. And then as we went up just a bit as we got into season, we actually started going back down because the buyers came in March, April, and May and bought up a lot of that inventory. Now, as we were talking about a couple months ago, we were sitting a little bit lower in inventory. I imagined that we would get to the 3,000 mark. I didn't think we were going to go much past 3,000. However, as we just saw, we just went close to 3,500 single family homes available in the city of Cape Coral. To put that into perspective, we'd like to see that right around 2,500 to 2,600 homes. That would be a healthy market for both buyers and sellers. At 3,500, it certainly puts us into a buyer's market by a long stretch, meaning buyers have opportunities. Buyers have a lot more homes to choose from so they can find exactly what they are looking for. And then they also have the ability to negotiate better terms and prices. Now, January 2025, we're at 3,499. October 2024, just 90 days ago, we were at 2,694 homes available on the market. Last year, January 2024, 2,724 homes available on the market. Now, looking at the numbers in January 2025, we jumped up over 1,000 new homes went on the market here in the city of Cape Coral. That's new listings, which is a huge jump. Now, we always see this jump because this is a time of year where sellers anticipate buyers being here. This is when the snowbirds are down, they're looking for their winter homes or looking to relocate to the area. And this is when the most amount of buyers are here and the most transactions take place here in the city of Cape Coral. So it's only logical that sellers would want to get their homes put on the market in January in preparation for the next few months. However, there were a lot of homes put on the market. So why are people putting their homes on the market? There's a handful of different reasons. One is insurance rates. People keep talking about insurance rates going through the roof, and that's true with an asterisk. Basically, older homes and lower elevations are seeing their insurance rates increase quite a bit. Some who were not required to have flood insurance prior are now required to have flood insurance, which is increasing costs as well. However, many homes in Cape Coral are not requiring flood insurance. They don't require these higher price points. If you're purchasing a newer home in a certain area, higher elevations, then you aren't hit with these higher insurance. Now, there's many different variables that go into insurance, and every property is different, as well as the owner. So we would dig deeper into that with the insurance agent to understand what works best for you. But that's one of the reasons that we are seeing this happening. Cape Coral also saw property taxes go up. Now, for second homeowners who do not have homestead exemption, we'll see property taxes rise as property values go up. So over the last few years, we've seen property taxes rise for second homeowners here in Cape Coral. Now, if you're a primary resident, you know that you've homesteaded your house, and so your property taxes can increase at a maximum of 3% per year. That's all. So it's extremely important, if it's your primary residence, you need to make sure that you homestead the property and get that filed with the county. You have until March 1st to get that done. So if you recently moved into your house, you were living there prior to January 1st of this year, and you have not homesteaded it yet, you need to get to the county and take care of that. So you can eliminate, number one, a lower tax or a higher tax bill. You can eliminate that, and also you lock in that it can never go up more than 3% per year on your income, on your real estate tax. So let's jump on to next. The other thing I was going to point out as well is, why are we seeing so many homes hit the market now? Cape Coral is very much a market that turns over often. We attract a lot of snowbirds, a lot of retirees to our area. Oftentimes they will retire, they come down, they buy a home, they either move on down for several years, or maybe they're just coming down in the winter times. But as folks get a little bit older, maybe it becomes more and more of a challenge for them to come down every year. They're not enjoying it as much as they used to, or maybe they've got grandkids up north, and so they want to stay up north. So we do see a lot of turnover in our inventory here in Cape Coral, and that's just part of how it works. And so that's what we're seeing now as well. And then the taxes and the insurance, and then some people have fear of storms and things of that nature if they've had a bad experience. So, but to say that there's a lot of homes on the market, there are definitely a lot of homes on the market, but for everyone that's selling and leaving, we've got more moving in every single day. So Cape Coral still remains a hot market. It's just a matter of our demand being a little bit lower than our supply at the moment. But over the next few months, we are going to see that demand increase. We just don't know how much yet. The first few weeks of January, and actually the last couple weeks of January, we did start to see buyers increase into the market. We started seeing more and more homes going under contract pending. So we're going to jump into that as well. Next up is median price point. January 2025, we had a median price point of $375,000 here in the city of Cape Coral. Now that's single family homes. 50% sold over $375,000, 50% sold below $375,000. October 2024, $395,000, and then 1 year ago, January 2024, which is $420,000. Now that was actually quite a bit of a jump from where we were at the end of 2023 last year. That was a higher number, but as you can see, as we progressed throughout the year, we did start to drop just a bit. We jumped up a little bit in October and November, but then December and January, we dropped again. Now January 2025, we're at 375,000. We haven't had a number that low since October of 2021. So we're at October 2021 prices at the moment. And what we saw is in April of 2022 is when we hit the highest price point here in the city of Cape Coral. The median price point was well above 400. It was about 460, somewhere in that range. And then once we got into the summer months, interest rates started jumping up quite a bit. That started dropping. And then September of 2022 was when Ian came along and really played a part in hurting us here in Cape Coral. And we saw prices drop even more to where in December of 2022, we were sitting at $399,000 for a median price point. So from $399 to $375, that's 2 years later. We haven't jumped or dropped a whole lot. It's gone up a little bit, it's gone down a little bit, but this is the lowest it's been since October of 2021. I do anticipate us to stay right around this as we go through the next few months. And then depending on how much inventory is left, once we get to the end of the summer, that'll determine prices, whether they're going to start going up slowly or they're going to keep moving in that downward direction. Days on the market, January 2025, we're at 49 days on the market. That's how many days it's taking a home to go under contract. October 2024, we were at 54 days on the market. January 2024, 51 days on the market. So as you can see, once we jumped up there around the beginning of last year, we really haven't changed much. It's been right around that 50 days on the market. That's been pretty standard lately. It's going to be like that until we start to clear out some of our inventory. So we're going to monitor that as well. That just says that the demand is not here for the supply that we do have. Closed sales. So January 2025, we had 262 closed sales in the city of Cape Coral. October 2024, 358 closed sales. January 2024, 279 closed sales. Now, this might possibly be the lowest number of homes sold in the city of Cape Coral in many, many years. For any given month, 262, very similar to last January. January is always the slowest month of the year, and this is because nobody's really out looking for homes to purchase around Thanksgiving of last year, or Christmas, because the homes that close in January are the ones that are put under contract around the end of November or throughout the month of December. So that is why that number is always relatively low. Now, last year, we did see it jump quite a bit once we got into February, and then March, April, and May, we were up around the mid fives, 550, 560, 570 in home sales throughout March, April, and May. So I do anticipate us to jump up quite a bit as we get into the next few months. Is it going to be as much as last year? I do believe it will be. I think we're in a different position last year. Last year, a lot of people were just sitting on the sidelines waiting. The election was concerning a lot of people. They weren't sure which directions they wanted to go. However, we're past the election. We have a new president. And so a lot of buyer confidence is starting to enter the market, and they're excited to be here in Southwest Florida and expecting great things to happen. So as you can see right here, closed sales, we did jump up quite a bit. As we went into the summer months, it does level off a little bit. And then as we get into the fall here in Florida, we always drop quite a bit. And that's where we are at. So next up, this is what I want to show you as far as current trends, what's happening exactly at this moment. The first week of January 2025, we had 137 new listings and 89 sold homes. I'm more concerned about the pending number. It shows 64 pending. So the first week of January, we had 137 new homes coming on the market and 64 pending. Obviously, that tells me that there's more supply than demand. If we go on down here to February 1st, the first week of February, what we want to look at is new listings. We're 253. Look how that jumped up quite a bit. 253 new listings. Then we get down to pendings. We had 143. So as you can see, that jumped up as well. The 143, much higher than 64, but our new listings coming to the market also jumped up quite a bit. So as we go forward, and next month, what we're going to start to see is this new listing number is going to be dropping quite a bit because people are going to stop putting their homes on the market. The people are going to sell their houses, have already gotten them put on the market. And then that pending number is going to continue to increase. I imagine we'll get up to around 160, 180 per week once we get into the next few months. Price decrease, 232 price decreases January 1st, 2025. Price decreases 475 for the first week or last week of January into February 1st. That's a huge pointer right there to pay attention to. If you're looking to purchase a house, people are bringing down the prices. They don't want to get stuck with the inventory, so they are accommodating the buyers in this buyer's market. So if you're a seller, just be aware that if you want to sell your house, you do have to be accommodating. You do have to have a great agent that knows how to market that home properly and to sell it well, and then attract the buyers when they are there at your doorstep. Other key numbers to be aware of. Sold price per square foot, $2.44 a square foot. That number has dropped. However, in 2023, the end of 2023, that number was actually slower than that. It was around $239 a square foot. So $244, that's not our lowest that we've seen. That number is lower than it has been, though, in the last 12 months. List price received, 97.5% of the list price. That's what sellers are accepting. So there is room for negotiation. Not a whole lot, but there is definitely room for negotiation. Now, this is the number that we were talking about. New listings, 1,091 new listings in the month of January came to the market here in the city of Cape Coral. Not single family home listings. There were also condos and other types of listings as well. But for single family home listings, 1,091 new homes came to the market in the city of Cape Coral for sale. The other thing that's keeping our inventory high is new construction. New construction also is coming to the market with about 150 to 200 homes every single month of brand new construction homes. So that keeps the inventory increasing as well, not just resale homes. If we didn't have any new homes to sell and we were only selling resale homes here in the city of Cape Coral, then that number would be substantially smaller and our inventory would be substantially smaller right now. But because we have a lot of new construction happening here, a lot of new homes being built, there's a lot of that increases the inventory and keeps that inventory high as well. But for a buyer, that gives you many options and opportunities. Months of inventory, currently with the amount of supply and demand that we have 13.4 months of inventory. Basically, if we had 0 new homes come to the market, it would take us over a year to sell out our entire inventory at the current pace of buyers. Now, we just talked about how the buyers in January are extremely low. So we're comparing basically the month with the lowest amount of buyers to the highest amount of inventory. So it's going to push that number out. It is skewed a bit. Currently, next month, we're going to see that number drop to about 8 or 9 months of inventory. And then as we get into season, we'll probably see it drop to about 6 to 7 months. Last year, we were actually down in the 5-month range once we got into the swing of things into March and April. So 13.4, it's kind of a skewed number, but it is a number to pay attention to, and it tells us we're clearly in a buyer's market. Anything over 6 months is a buyer's market. Other key numbers to be aware of: inflation peaked at 9.1% back in June 2022, now at 2.9%. It did increase just a bit in the last month, so we're keeping an eye on that. Interest rates now at 6.99%. We peaked in November 2023 at 8%. Our target is 6.5% and below for an extended period of time. In 2024, we actually did see it get down to 6.5%, went below 6.5% for a few weeks, and then it jumped right back up, and we've been playing right around 7% for the last several weeks. Unemployment is at 4.1% and staying steady. That number keeps going up and down, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 3.9, around that area there. One of the things that the Federal Reserve is keeping an eye on is this unemployment, because it's showing very strong numbers, meaning our economy is fairly healthy, which is keeping them from lowering interest rates much further. So we're going to see what happens there. But as long as that stays healthy, inflation is still rather well. It did jump up a bit, so they're going to keep an eye on that. But we're not going to see rates fall a whole lot this year, I don't believe. They are predicting that possibly once we get into the fall, we may see rates come down. But as of right now, rates are expected to stay right around that 7% mark. So the point of that is, if you are thinking about moving or just really want to be down here in Southwest Florida and you're waiting on rates to change, you might still be waiting a little bit while longer. Supply, current inventory, 3,499 homes available here in the city of Cape Coral. That's a year-over-year increase of 28.5%. So it's not as big of an increase as we were seeing last year. We were seeing 40% increases. This year at 28.5% increase, that's still a healthy increase. Was not expecting to see it jump that much. However, it did, meaning we do have a lot of inventory on the market. How high is inventory going to get this year? I don't expect it to go much higher than this, especially since the next few months are our big buyer months, and it's going to take a lot of that inventory out. But as of right now, the reality is we're sitting right around 3,500 homes on the market here in the city of Cape Coral. Population estimated now at 234,000. 6 years, we're expected to be at 250,000 people. By 2050, 320,000. We're often one of the fastest growing cities in the country. And as you can see all around the city of Cape Coral, whether it's building apartments or condos or all kinds of living structures all over the city in anticipation of what's coming. We are getting busier and busier here. We're growing faster and faster, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So there is going to be a point where property values do start going back up. And at that point, if you've not taken advantage of what's now or what's going to be for the next few months, then you may be kicking yourself. So pay attention. The market's not going to crash. It is correcting a little bit. and it's been steady for the last 2.5 years. And how long it'll stay that way, we don't know, but we're going to find out. We're going to have some real insight once we get through this season and see how many homes went off the market. So is now the time to buy? This is a great question. If you're in a position to buy, you're tired of the gray skies and the snow up north, now might be a great time to buy. There's many great options. You have so many homes to choose from like never before in the city of Cape Coral. If you can't find a home now that you like in the city of Cape Coral, then you may be out of luck forever. Buyer confidence is increasing. We've seen a lot more buyers come into the market over the last few weeks. Homes have gone pending, and we're seeing more and more buyers coming in. So that's buyer confidence is increasing. Many options to choose from. It is currently a buyer's market. You have the opportunity to negotiate and get great deals. Interest rates are holding steady. We're not seeing them go up very much, but they're definitely not dropping either. So it's something that we're going to be monitoring, and we don't expect them to change much over the next several months. Buyer broker agreement. With the buyer broker agreement, we're seeing a lot of buyers misunderstand what this is all about. So a lot of them are going straight to the listing agent, which is fine. Understand if you go straight to the listing agent is working for the seller, not the buyer. So you may not get the best representation. If you are looking to purchase something here in Cape Coral, it's definitely wise to work with a buyer's agent. Just make sure you're working with an agent that understands how it works and how to work for your best interest, as well as making sure that everything is negotiated properly and correctly so you're not stuck with a bill at the end of the transaction. We've got a great system in place, so reach out to me and I'll teach you all about how we work with our buyers to make sure that the process is streamlined and efficient and also keeps as much money in your pocket as possible. Is now the time to sell? Right now, sellers are putting their homes on the market. Buyer confidence is up. It's season. So right now, if you're in a position to sell and you need to sell, now's a great time to have your home on the market. Understand there are buyers here. If you're motivated or if you'd like to sell, now if you have unrealistic expectations, your home's probably going to sit on the market for quite a while. Understanding prices have come down some since where they were at back in 2022. But as long as you approach it with the right expectation, you will definitely be able to sell your home in this market with the buyers being here over the next several months. Second home market. We are definitely a second home market. When it's cold in the north, when it's snowing up there, the skies are gray for extended periods of time, this is the time to sell your home here in Cape Coral. We've got a lot of snowbirds here, a lot of tourists here, people coming down for many different reasons to Southwest Florida in the wintertime. So now's the time to showcase your home. And it's important, sellers attracting buyers. You have to make sure that you're working with the right agent in order to attract those buyers to your home, making sure that the marketing is done properly, make sure that that you have YouTube marketing. We have over 39,000 views on our channel, and we definitely market your property through our YouTube channel and our other social media avenues, as well as the MLS, Zillow, and then we do plenty of Facebook marketing and advertising. And we're part of eXp Realty, which is the largest brokerage with over 90,000 agents that it gets sent out to as well. So if you're in the market to sell, now's a great time to sell. You just have to set your expectations correctly, and we will help you get that done. And that concludes the market update. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or relocating here to Cape Coral, go and reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you. You can click the link there to schedule or take a picture of the QR code there, or give me a call or text to schedule a time with me. We can meet in person or we can meet over the computer, Zoom. I do a lot of work with buyers from the north, so I do have a huge database there. If you are thinking of selling, we can connect you with those buyers in the north. And if you're a buyer in the north who's thinking about buying here in Cape Coral, I'm able to help you out with that. I can go out to properties and do tours for you, making you understand and teach you all about the Cape Coral area, because Cape Coral is such a unique city. It's such a large city. And if you don't know where you're buying or the areas that you should be in, it might cost you a lot of extra money in the long run. So I'd love to educate you, love to chat with you more. Looking forward to meeting you. Hope you're having a great day. And Cape Coral real estate market is ever evolving, and I'm excited to be here as a part of it, making realty dreams a reality here in Cape Coral, Florida.